Hello, I'm pleased and proud to bring you this episode with Vera Tiani, Indiana Teacher of the Year, Indiana Counselor of the Year, who's lived the last 18 years in stage 4 cancer. She hasn't just lived, she has thrived. I'm so pleased and proud to bring this segment of Vera Tiani on Behind Closed Doors.
Okay.
Oh, that's great music. Hey, tell me we got the music to start the show.
Rocky.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hello, I'm here with my pal, my friend, and my great healer, and self-healer. And today I want to talk about self-healing because that's just something really special, Vera. And you began to talk to me earlier, and kind of interrupt you to wait and get started here about when you first got started with your cancer. This was in.
Well, 1983.
Is that
was
right?
The first,
Wow. Yeah,
first round of cancer.
Yeah. And what was you remember your first reaction to it?
I thought I was going to die, so might as well just cash it in and.
Yeah.
And that was my first reaction. It was very scary. And then in 1983, I wasn't as proactive as I was in my second 1983, 2000, 2014. So I've had 3 diagnoses, and now stage 4 for the last 2. So first one, I was still doing guided imagery. I found a wonderful counselor that did guided, but not quite as involved in co-creating my own health, And that's a big piece of it for me. Is I wanted to be a co-creator.
Excuse me, I have to take my hearing aids out.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
My hearing aids, remember I told you Bluetooth connected to my phone?
Yeah?
Somebody just called me.
Oh, no.
It's ringing in my ear.
Oh, no.
Did you turn it all the way off?
Yes, it's off.
Good. I think I can still use my hearing aids, but I've never done this before, so this is all new to me. And I figure by the time I'm 90, I ought to be the bionic man. Now it's ringing and there's bells going off in my ears, and I think people are talking to me. And it's me. Today we're talking about healing and that part of you, Vera, that's a self-healer. Because you've got spectacular parts of you as a teacher and as a counselor, but it's the self-healer that I want to talk to you today, because I think that's the most spectacular of all, because it's kept you around for me.
It has kept me around a long time, yeah.
Yeah. But jump in and share the story of what's happening with your cancer.
Well, I was diagnosed breast cancer in 1983, then again 2000 bone cancer, 2014 metastasized again in a different part of the bone in the spine then. And so throughout this, I have asked my doctors about how I could be a co-creator in my health. That was important to me. I didn't get a lot of advice on that, I have to say.
Where did you come up with that? How did that become apparent to you?
I don't know. I just didn't want to be a victim. You know, it's like somehow people, when they talked about cancer, it's like they were a victim. It's like, no, I'm not a victim here. How can I be a co-creator? I don't want to, because they would say, we'll take care of everything. No, I don't want you to take care of everything. Tell me what I can do to be part of my own healing. So because I didn't get any guidance, I just went on a search. And so I have...
And you didn't have the internet at the time.
No.
It would have been handy.
No. I found some good counselors myself that did guided imagery. And I surround myself with lots of phrases, I think, like, for example, I'm not dead till I'm dead. That was, I'm not going to curl up and die somewhere. Or, I'm planning for longevity. And I saw a cute quote by Red Green. It's like, I don't think there's any purpose in being pessimistic. We're all going to die. It can't get more pessimistic than that. So get over it and move forward. And or you can get a good parking spot in a cemetery and just wait it out. And I thought, God, that's what people do. They get a diagnosis and basically in their mind they're parked in the cemetery and waiting to die. So I knew that was not going to be my response.
Paralyzing.
It is paralyzing.
Yeah, yeah.
First thing I did is I wanted to look for survivors.
Yeah,
All right.
all right.
So if, and my cancer in the bone doesn't have a great prognosis. So I'm looking at, okay, even if I have 1% chance, if there's 1% of the population that survives,
Yeah.
I want to talk to that person
Yeah, yeah.
and find out what they did to survive.
Right, right.
So the first thing I did is I looked for survivors.
Yeah.
Who's out there and what did they do?
Yes.
To
What'd you
survive.
find?
Well, I found some interesting people that were fighters, that were not parking their car in the cemetery,
Waiting to die. Huh?
Yeah,
Right.
and so they too wanted to be co-creators in their health.
Yes.
And so,
Were you tempted to feel sorry for yourself?
no, I don't ever remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that crossing my mind.
Yeah.
I was a single parent. I had my daughter then,
Yes.
and then after that I was living on my own, the second diagnosis. And
Yes.
no, I don't ever remember.
Yes, with certain.
I remember being scared.
Certain folks, it's seductive. They seduce themselves into feeling sorry for themselves, and then into depression.
Well, one of the things I did very actively is I didn't want people around me that were negative, and I
Okay.
knew that kind of energy would take away my energy,
Yeah.
my healing energy.
Yeah.
And I also stayed away from people that were feeling sorry for me. And needed to let them know, this is not helpful.
Yeah, right, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
really, this is not helpful.
Right.
And so some of the people were able
Chicken
to.
soup is poison.
Yeah.
That's the old phrase.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me for interrupting,
Yeah.
but yeah. If you-
And some people honored that and,
Yeah.
know,
Not that being
treat me
kind
like I'm
and-
alive, not
Right,
like I'm,
right, right.
on my way out.
Yeah.
So surrounding yourself with positive people, finding survivors, surrounding yourself
Yeah.
with positive people. And, I did healing touch and massage and chiropractic, my dietitian, I have an herbalist. I mean, I went through the gamut.
Yeah.
But the healing energy came from me. There's lots of different terms with guided imagery.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
I had to change the way I thought about this disease.
Yeah.
And so cancer to me, instead of being something very fearful, I remember reading somewhere that it was just a poor little waif that has lost her way. Yeah. And so if I could transfer that energy to the cancer in my body, that, I'm so sorry. I mean you no harm,
Yeah.
but
Just go away.
yeah, it's really not a good place that you're in right now. And I feel sorry that they have not been, they don't know, the cell doesn't know that it's time to die. But they keep reproducing.
Right.
So as soon as I could change my image of the cancer cell,
Right.
not being a big bad,
Right.
well, I into something nice. But I did get a video one time from a company that I sent it back and explained why. So they have these cancer cells, and this is supposed to be like a type of imagery. And here comes these warriors with shells on their belts and guns, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, that's my body you're shooting at.
Well, that's what they do in cancer treatment.
No,
Right.
this is not good though. I
Right.
wanted,
Right.
it's not going to help my image of a poor
Right.
little waif that's lost her way.
Right.
So guided
and
imagery
your
was-
inner knower knew that poor little waif was the more appropriate one.
Yes.
How your inner knower knew that, I don't know, but somehow our inner knowers are like that.
Well, this is something I could talk to.
We actually also talked about your inner knower about God and how God fits into this whole equation for you. And your inner knower tells you, I know, that God helps those who help themselves.
I know that sometimes people have said, this is God's will, and they go home to die.
Right.
I think we have a brain for some reason, and
Yeah.
and I needed to find out what I needed to do to heal for me.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
worked for me may not work for
Yeah,
somebody else, but
yeah.
it's working for me.
Yeah, seems to me God's will is life, because life is so abundant and everywhere, and it seems to me that's what God's all about, is life,
Yeah.
not giving in. Yeah. So what's been the course, Vera? I know at one point you had a tumor on your face.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you share that?
Well, this sounds kind of goofy, though.
Hey, I went through it with you, so.
I know. Well, it's not the first. I mean, it's there. I've had a number of images that have been so powerful.
And by the way, you're using the biggest part of your brain, visual imagery. That is by far the biggest part of our brain.
This came way before a written language. Way before language.
Yes,
When we
yes.
dream in images. We don't dream with words flying by.
With my own dementia, about to turn 75, got lots of dementia issues. I've learned to use my visual imagery as the most powerful form of recall.
Yes.
I used to use a lot of auditory things, but I'm finding visual works much better.
Yes.
I had a really interesting one the other day I got to tell you about. A friend of mine with the shingles, okay, has the rash on her chest, and basically she visualized that rash as knives going into her chest.
Ouch.
Ouch, right? And she has really been sore in the chest. And I asked her, why do you think of that as knives? You know, that's not knives. Those are nerves. What's happening with the shingles is those nerves are getting affected by the virus and causing them to contract, and that's what's causing the pain, I think. That's what I've learned about it. And so instead, she started massaging them, but she couldn't massage them if they were knives. And once she massaged them, they go away. And that was one of those examples of how visual imagery had backfired.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it can go,
we all know that people can make themselves sick. I think people have known that for a long time.
Right.
But I think what we haven't embraced is that if we can make ourselves sick, we can also help in our healing.
Make ourselves well,
Yeah, make ourselves well. So.
I started to ask you about that tumor and interrupted you. So.
Well, in my image too, each image has been very personal. And I have to say, it's the images that I have worked on. Okay, I'll use the tumor as an example. So there's a tumor in my face, and
it's the docs that said you needed surgery for.
Many doctors. Yeah. I kept going, and it's getting larger and larger, and so I know I'm going to have paralysis in my face. And on a Friday, I cancel my appointment. My surgery is Monday, and because I realized I haven't used guided imagery yet. I haven't, I believe in this, but when fear takes over,
oh yes,
fear really hard. So fear had sort of, just taken over, and then I thought, well, I just give it over to the doctors. They've got to do surgery. So I canceled it. So I tried to create some images of trying to get rid of this tumor. I had a vacuum cleaner go in, trying to suck it up. I had the sun beating down, like, turning a grape into a raisin and drying it out. And nothing was working. And I'm driving the car, and I have to say, some of my best images have been driving long distances. And all of a sudden, this vortex came and was sucking out this tumor, and the side of my face was hurting, and I'd have to stop the image, and then I'd allow it to come back again. It'd start again. Oh, my face was just pulsating. 2 weeks to the day of when I started this, I went back to the doctors. There was no evidence of a tumor. It is completely gone, and they've called it spontaneous remission. I worked hard to get spontaneous remission.
That was vortex remission if I've ever heard.
Now, if I had done nothing, would it have healed? It hadn't been. It had been growing and growing and growing until finally it was really causing a problem for a lot of nerves in my face. So that convinced me.
You had obviously experiences like this, I know, in the past with your hair, when they told you were going to lose your hair.
Yeah.
Tell me that one.
Well, I pictured myself holding in the roots of my hair and holding on and holding on and holding on, and these little guys, little skinny arms, kind of like Pac-Man things. And they were getting so tired, they were falling over, and I'd get up there, get back in there, holding. And then I went, okay, it's just my hair. This is just cosmetic. Just let it go. So they were shaped like this, like a droplet, upside down drop. And when I let go of the image, they turned around and wedged into the follicles of my hair, and I stopped losing my hair. And my doctor, every time would go in and go like this. Got your wig on today? I said, no, it's my hair. Well, you'll lose it all. You know that. Next visit, got your wig on today? No, it's my hair. Well, you'll lose it all.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you explain things like that?
Yeah. You know what's interesting about it, Vera? In both cases, it was your own imagery that kind of spontaneously jumped up. You were experimenting, you were looking for different things.
But something else came, something better.
And it seems as though it felt almost as if it came to you from the outside rather than from the inside.
Absolutely. I felt like I sort of asked the universe for assistance. It knew I was wanting to heal, and then an image came to me. An image always has come to me when I've let go. I have to say, my own drummed up images never work. It's always a gift. I don't know how else to explain.
But it always starts with the trials.
It starts with it.
You have to have the intention to heal first.
The intention has to be there.
Yeah. Across all human experience, intention is always the bottom line.
Yes.
At least in my experience of doing this for 50 years.
Yes.
It all backs up to intention.
Yeah. My intention was not to park in a cemetery until I died. Yeah. Unfortunately, I made flyers and put them in the oncology. And there was a program at the hospital that dealt with guided imagery, diet, all these complementary cares. I couldn't get one other person, not one, to join me.
Yeah.
And they got a grant, and this was being paid for. It was several $100s. There was a grant available. This would have been like $10 for 8 sessions or something. Not one cancer patient.
It backs up to the issue of belief. And there just isn't a belief that can happen.
But it's more than that. It's like their belief is let go and let God. And so in their minds, in order to reach out and look for something else that would help, they're going against God's will. And that's,
I don't know how we learn that.
I don't know.
It's almost as if giving into God's will is not trying anymore.
Because this was God's will, and now you're going against it. That was the impression I got when people went up.
Let me tell you my thought about that. Okay, see, my thought is buried deep in all of us is what I call the fundamental unconscious equation. The more you care, the more it hurts. See, I think when you're paralyzed like that, and shocked like that, and knocked down like that, there's a part of you that in order just to get through it has to go into I don't care. God's will. That's when God's will jumps up. And God's will becomes part of I don't care instead of the amazing care that God has for all of us and embracing that. And
it's about quality too. It's not like, okay, I wanted to heal myself, but I also knew the quality of my life was very important. That I still, I'm a ski patroller. I continue to ski. Because I asked for 3 out of my 4 doctors. Is it the skiing or is it the falling? So I continue to do everything I did before. Only, as Dan knows, I'm only supposed to carry 20 pounds, and so I have a backpack, and when I get to 20 pounds, he gets to carry a little more. So,
he'll carry your weight anytime he can.
Quality of life is so important.
Yes, and don't
give up that even though it doesn't heal, if the person says, oh, well, it didn't heal me. Yes, but the quality of your life is improved when you have these positive images.
That's important. The other issue is pain. And what I've learned about pain blows my mind. Pain is the guarding response. Its intention is to guard us, not to hurt us. It's just alerting us, hey, don't get whacked there again. It's already wounded. You'll make it much worse. And what you have to do when with age comes a lot more pain. And I'll be out, and my arthritis will strike, and I'll think, oh, maybe I shouldn't push it. Maybe I'll wound it. maybe should be a little tender. No, it's just the opposite. I have to attack it. I have to remember. No, I got to tell my brain, no, I don't want that pain.
Thank you for
I'm
the
fine.
message.
Thank you.
For the
There
message.
you go. There you go. And you know what? 5-10 minutes, I'm walking, the pain's gone, I feel better. I'm still 75 and playing racquetball, as you know. And
well, and you look at the pie of what causes in the pie chart.
Yeah.
What causes pain? Very little is outside stimulus or in an injury.
Yeah. Oh,
So
it's
here.
all in the brain. Yeah,
See
yeah, yeah. All pain is in the brain.
Well, how can I ski all day and not be in pain?
Yeah. Like,
You know, I don't take pain pills when I ski. How is that possible?
Now say that again.
I don't take any pain pills when I'm skiing.
Oh.
When I sit, I
Yeah,
still
yeah,
feel
yeah,
pain.
Yeah. As long as you're moving, active.
As long as you're moving.
And you know what? Same thing with guys at war. When Bobby's at war and he's in a battle and he's hurt, he doesn't feel any pain.
Yeah.
I've had a number of guys tell me that then the battle's over. One guy, it was a 4-day battle. He fell asleep in the middle of the battle. Woke up on his back, okay? And from that point on, could not sleep on his back without having nightmares. And it took us a good 6 years to figure that out.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun to figure that one out, where that came from. Human beings are so damn interesting, Vera. Aren't we? Yeah. I've just learned much more from human beings in person than I ever did in books. It just can't capture it. Well, we've had a little discussion with Vera today. We got something to share, Vera. So thanks again, Vera. We'll do this some more.